The following week felt completely different from anything Jenny Slatten had experienced before. Every morning now carried a strange mixture of gratitude and fear. Some days began peacefully, while others started with exhaustion before she even stepped out of bed. The diagnosis had changed the atmosphere inside the house. Small moments suddenly carried much deeper meaning. Jenny stood carefully in front of the bathroom mirror one morning, brushing her hair slowly while studying her reflection. She looked the same on the outside, yet everything inside felt altered. Her thoughts constantly moved between hope and uncertainty. Behind her, Sumit appeared in the doorway. "You didn't sleep much again," he said quietly. Jenny sighed softly. "My mind won't stop thinking." Sumit walked closer and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to think about everything today," he reminded her. But that was easier said than done. Since learning about ALS, Jenny had started noticing every small physical change more intensely. If her hands trembled slightly, she worried. If her legs felt tired, fear immediately appeared in her mind. Even normal moments became difficult to separate from anxiety. That afternoon, they returned to the hospital for another consultation. The neurologist explained the importance of monitoring symptoms carefully and maintaining a structured routine. Jenny listened more closely this time, taking notes while Sumit asked questions about therapy, treatment possibilities, and long-term planning. "What should we focus on first?" Sumit asked seriously. The doctor answered calmly. "Stability, emotional health, and maintaining quality of life." Those words stayed with Jenny long after they left the office. Quality of life. She kept repeating the phrase silently during the drive home. Later that evening, Jenny sat on the couch scrolling through old photographs on her phone. Pictures from years earlier filled the screen. Smiling selfies with Sumit, celebrations, travel memories, moments from their complicated journey together. Some photos brought laughter, others brought tears. "I almost forgot this one," she said, showing Sumit an old picture from one of their earliest trips together. Sumit smiled immediately. "You were angry at me that entire day." Jenny laughed softly. "You deserved it." For a few minutes, the heavy tension inside the house disappeared. They simply sat together remembering happier times. It reminded Jenny that life was still continuing despite the diagnosis. The next morning, Jenny decided she did not want fear controlling every hour of her life. Instead of staying indoors worrying, she asked Sumit to take her to a nearby market they used to visit often. "You sure?" Sumit asked carefully. "Yes," Jenny replied firmly. "I want to feel normal today." The market was crowded with people, colorful clothing, fresh vegetables, and loud conversations. For the first time in days, Jenny felt connected to the world again. Vendors smiled warmly as they walked past. The familiar sounds and movement brought comfort. But halfway through the visit, Jenny suddenly slowed down. Her legs felt weaker than usual. Sumit noticed immediately. "Let's sit for a minute." Jenny nodded quietly. They found a small bench near a tea stall, where she rested silently while watching people move around them. Her breathing remained steady, but emotionally she felt frustrated. "I hate this," she whispered. Sumit looked at her carefully. "What part?" Jenny stared toward the ground. "Feeling like my body is becoming unpredictable." Sumit stayed quiet for a moment before answering. "You're still you." Jenny shook her head slowly. "What if that changes?" The question hung painfully between them. That night, after returning home, Jenny spent hours thinking about the future. She began writing notes inside a small journal beside her bed. Thoughts, memories, hopes, fears, everything poured onto the pages. One entry simply read, "I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I want them to remember that I kept going." Writing became a private form of comfort for her. It helped organize emotions she struggled to say aloud. Meanwhile, news about Jenny's health slowly started spreading publicly. Online discussions grew rapidly. Fans expressed shock and sadness after hearing the reports. Social media became filled with supportive messages from viewers who had followed Jenny and Sumit's relationship for years. Some messages were emotional, others were inspiring. One fan wrote, "Your strength helped me through difficult times in my own life." Jenny read that comment several times. She had never fully realized how many people connected personally with her story. A few former 90 Day Fiancé cast members also reached out privately. Some shared prayers. Others offered advice about staying emotionally strong during health struggles. Even people Jenny hadn't spoken to in years suddenly contacted her. It reminded her how quickly life could change. One evening, while sitting outside with tea, Jenny looked towards